Hello and welcome back to the channel where we are building a video game from scratch using Love2d and Lua. So yesterday we got a little bug fix for our loot system, so it is working again. It was an elusive little bug we found, so that's good. We got that working, but that's all we got done yesterday. We've got breakable crates here, as well as coin collecting. Hey, thank you, aka Bob. Thank you, dude. Appreciate it. That's a homie right there. 10 months. That's epic, dude. That's awesome. I don't know if you've seen, aka Bob, I've got credits in here now. So there you are right there. So credited supporter because you subbed right there. So yeah, we've got a couple of things I want to get done for the demo still, right? So we're trying to finish this demo up in the next, I'm hoping like month. The big things left, there's two big things left, and it's the bat. We need to make a new enemy that's a bat for the dungeon, as well as organize our dungeon a bit more. So like we have 1 square worth of a dungeon right now. We need to do some level design for that. But we've got pushable objects, right? So we can make little like Sokoban style levels in the dungeon, and we can kind of lace it with pits so that you can get knocked into the pit and fall there while you're fighting the bats, while you're trying to push these bricks or logs or rocks, whatever we come up with for the dungeon. As well as you can use your spell casting to break the crates and collect some coins here. And we've got a coin counter there in our inventory now, so we do, you know, we're getting to the point where we're gonna have a decently game-looking game here, because we've got like all the pieces in place, but we don't really have a level just yet. So that's what we're working on. And right now we just have some geckos in the dungeon, but they don't have collision detection with the walls, which won't be too hard to add. See how they're walking, they're getting knocked out of the walls when we're kind of confined. And then we do have like a little treasure chest too that we need to do our tunics for while we grab coins and stuff out of there. So that's not so bad. But yeah, I'm thinking today one of two things. I think either we do, thanks Mungdal. Yeah, it is definitely it's actually, the game is operating at a Game Boy resolution and we're scaling it up virtually. So all the logic for the game is literally at a Game Boy style. See, like the pixels there for our player X and Y, you know, it's only whatever it is, 148 by 112. I always forget the Game Boy resolution, but it's literally running at that, and we're just scaling it up. So like we can come up here, and where is it? Right here, we can say that our window height is actually the real Game Boy resolution here instead of scaling it, and that's how tiny the game is. Hey, thanks, Rough Cookie. Yeah, it's coming together. I'm hoping we can get this demo out, because I'm thinking, so we've got a little board, project board for what we're doing, and for the trailer, you know, I'm hoping that if we can get like 8 scenes worth of a dungeon going on and about 12 exploring scenes in the overworld, as well as like the teaser, you know, like the teaser to the other biomes, because we got all these weather systems that we can say when you go to the desert, the sand overtakes, the sand system that we already made overtakes, and you can't walk that far. So it's kind of like that's in the game, but you can't get there just yet, to kind of force people to the dungeon that gets them the green tunic that allows them to push objects, that allows them to unlock the mountain biome. So if we can get the dungeon done, and then a little bit of expositional dialogue, a title screen, a tiny little opening cinematic, touch up our inventory art just a bit, add a basic shop, which we have the basics of, which is we now have coins and a coin count, and we have this guy behind the bar here that we can talk to. So he can have, we can have a little inventory drop down so that you can buy stuff from the shop for the demo too. So all this to say, once all this is done, I'm wanting to package it as a release on GitHub, and then also submit it to Steam with all the art stuff they require, so that we can get it listed on Steam. So that's the big goal here. So I'm hoping definitely before my birthday in April, definitely before that, but I'm hoping we could really knock it out in like a month or two. So that would be really sweet if we can have this wish listable up on Steam in a couple months. That would be epic. So that's what's on the docket for the next couple weeks. Today was either we were going to redeploy the new changes, like the pushable crates, to the website deployment, or we were going to start working on our bat entities. So I think I'm going to go with bats, because that is our game plan has been tackle the hardest stuff first. And what's weird, and if people watching right now want to go to tashio.dev and test something for me real quick, if anyone who's on computer could go to tashio.dev and hit G to toggle the Game Boy layover and report back if it works or not, that would be really helpful to me, because it works on my machine, both my desktop and my Mac, and it works on different browsers, but whenever I raid people and they try it, it always jacks up. So I don't know if that's a browser issue or a operating system issue. I don't know. I've got to do some testing, but as far as I'm doing, the web deployment works on keyboard here. So that's one thing I want to figure out too, because when we raid people, it works. Oh, the touch works on mobile. I think the big thing I couldn't figure out was like if people hit G to take off that Game Boy overlay, that is when it got squished and it didn't like resize correctly. So that's what I couldn't figure out, and I don't know what the issue is. I don't know if it's a Linux thing or what, because I know we rated Hypnotic Games and he tried it and it busted, and he's on Linux. So I don't know if it's a Linux thing or any other than my machine thing. So got to figure that out. So I think we're gonna start developing our bat enemies, because that is harder than doing. It stretches out Mungdal. Okay, and see, so that's the thing I'm talking about. Like it keeps the same tall thing and it just stretches everything like vertically, right? I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to fix that. There might be a canvas reset, something we can maybe call in the Love2d engine or something to fix that. But what's annoying is it's not consistent, right? Like if it was broken on my machine, and then I can at least test it, but I can't even test how to fix it because I can't recreate it. So that's the tough thing. So in this game, our tiles are 16 by 16 pixels, but I'm wanting a shorter and wider bat, right? So here, I'll show you a rough cookie on here. So you go to tashio.dev, and then it's this G to toggle the Game Boy overlay. See how it takes off the Game Boy overlay underneath so that it's a bigger screen? Because if you're on desktop, you don't want to see all the Game Boy controls. It works, like you said, on mobile, where on mobile, you need the Game Boy Pad because you need to touch and control it. But on desktop, I want to be able to have people toggle it off, which it works on my machine where it takes off the Game Boy overlay or puts it back. But, you know, this clicking it doesn't work on desktop, but it works on touch on the iPhone. And it works the same on Firefox on Windows. Okay. So far, I know it's broken on Linux, and then Mungdal's saying on Mac, it's stretching it. It's weird because on my Mac it's not. On my M3 Mac it's not, and Chrome works too. Okay. Thanks for checking, guys. That really helps me out because I can't track this down. I don't know how to fix it because it's working half the time. Although we are missing, our frame rate is at 168 frames a second, which is really fast. We forgot to turn off VSync for the web deployment, I think. But see, like, our chest isn't in here just yet, so we're like 2 months behind on the web deployment. So maybe we'll do that at the end of today if I'm feeling up to it. Let's say that we have like a tile size width and a half for our bat. So 8 plus 16. And then 16 for the height. So a little wider than tall. That looks about right for a bat. Maybe wider and shorter. Let's do 32 and 16. That looks about right. So I'm trying to think of like how the bat needs to kind of flap its wings, right? So if we just get like an outline going. Yeah, I mean, I'm drawing it first, which probably isn't the greatest idea, but I don't know. You know? As a starting point, it's not bad. Because I guess, you know, we can have the programmer placeholder art, right? And then we can import it into the game, and then, you know, just do the bare minimum right now and then go in and touch it up, so we can kind of, instead of spending all our time on the art right now, we can kind of just try to get through the process of adding a new entity to our game. So I do want to move his head up right here so that it's not so static. This is still just the placeholder art, but that's good enough. That's good enough for the test. So we export things as atlases, so we can export it as a sprite sheet. And the sprite sheet, see how it kind of pairs them butt to butt there? Which is a personal preference of mine. Batless. The bat atlas .png. Okay, it's not save as, it's... Oh, it is export. Okay, so this should work. batless PNG. What? Batless PNG. Okay. Let me just make sure it works, because I always get issues when I don't double check that it exports. Okay, batless. Cool. Batless. Okay. So we've got him. See how they're butt to butt here? I guess tip to tip, which is my second favorite preference. Yeah, wingtip to wingtip. That's what I mean. Definitely, that's what I mean. Okay, 32 by 16. Okay, easy. Yeah, it's just two tile widths wide. So we can come in here and update, import a new batless atlas in our dependencies. And we've got, oh, it's actually a, G texture here. So look, we have a gecko C and a gecko, which is a corrupted, and the purple bat is the corrupted one. So we'll say bat C for corrupted, and it's gonna get a drawable, which is a new image, and we give it the path. And it's batless PNG. Okay, and then we've got our, this is our texture, but now we need our quad for it, because when we run this generate quads, it's gonna slice up the tip to tip pictures into frame 1 and frame 2, and that's what we can use to animate it. So we're gonna say that right here we have a bat C quad, and we run the generate quads function, and we pass in the texture we just made, which is bat C. And then the width and height. Width would be a tile size times 2 because it's 32. Where my touch typing asterisk skills aren't very good. Size. Tile size. Yep, 16 high, but 32 wide. Yeah. Width and height. Yeah. Okay, so now we've got our quads, and we've got, we call it G frames, global frames. So the quads slices it up all nice, and then we can go, we have to define an entity for these bats so that we can, on Opera and Safari, the Game Boy window is stretched. Huh. On a M1 Mac. Okay, that's good info, because my M3, it works fine. So yeah, I'll try to figure that out, because it's kind of bumming me out that when people, when I raid people and they try to play it, it's all stretched and nasty, and I'm like, ugh. So like, I really do want to fix that. We have a whole table called entity defs where we define all these entities. So we're going to mimic our gecko entity, because entity has a bunch of different stuff like create animation, render the entity, a bunch of other little stuff that we're using as a class. And it's also got a table for animations. So we've got an animations table, and it looks like that's all we define, at least for corrupted geckos. So we'll just mimic this where we say, we do a comma and then follow up with a new definition. So the new definition is going to be a key for this table of entity defs, and the key is going to stand for BAT-C, and then we place a table. Like in Lua, everything's a table. Tables and tables and tables. So we say that the key in the entity defs, so if we go entity defs at index bat corrupted, we can go into the dot animations and pull out the frames for the animation. So in the table for the BAT-C, we're going to have a animations table. See, like tables and tables, like I'm saying. And in the animations table, we have a key of what animation we're trying to trigger. And right now, I'm just going to put fly. That's the one we made just now. Just 2 frames, right? So we give it the first frame, the second frame. That's how many frames there are. There's a frame 1 and a frame 2. Those are the index for the quads that we split up. So when we generated quads, we can run a get frame, and 1 will give us that first frame, 2 will give us the second frame. So that's what the 1 and 2 in here are going to do. But animation also takes in an interval, like a speed at which to flap its wings or to animate. We're just going to do the same interval, 0.07 as a starting point. It takes in a texture, which we're going to give it our BAT-C texture. And then it takes in a looping value, which it needs to loop so that it keeps playing over and over, and it doesn't just play once. So there is our BAT-C entity definitions, where we define our animations. And I'm screwing this up a little bit. Yeah, we get a key. Now, the variables in there are also in a table. Yo, Soup, hey, thank you, bud. Yo, that's epic, man. 10 months is awesome. Thank you so much. That's really epic, dude. I cannot believe I've been on Twitch for 10 months, dude. I've been affiliate for 10 months. Holy crap. That's nuts. That's crazy. Yeah. You're not late, man. You're like a wizard, you know? Okay, so we need our frames here. Frames 1 and 2. And fly is the animation that we're putting into our bat class here. It's actually not a class. This is just a table in a table. Exactly. Yeah, dude. Hey, if you were setting up NeoVim, you can be as late as you want, man. That's gonna take you a little while. Are you? Oh, dude, you're on Mac, so that's good for you. It's a monster setting it up on Windows. It's a monster. It sucks. It took me like 2 days. Like you can go in my GitHub green dot history and see 2 days of no commits, and that was all 2 days of configuring NeoVim on Windows. It was terrible. It is a lot. It's a lot. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I mean, that dude. I mean, you're a programmer, so you're going to be digging into other ways of doing stuff. So, I suggest that you'll find what works and what doesn't. Okay, we don't need this. I'm going to leave this comma. I think this is okay. I think this won't crash. I did graphics. Graphics.batless is what I did. Graphics batless. There we go. Okay, we shouldn't crash. Okay, cool. So we've got that. All we've done is import the bat. Yeah, dude. Exactly. See, you're getting it. Because, dude, even, like, I would say look up get fugitive, too, because in NeoVim, I can do my get right here in terminal. So, like, I pull up my, you know, I can commit and push right here in NeoVim and in Tmux. So that's what I would say to do. Get fugitive is the thing. I love it. Because then, yeah, then you're only in your terminal. Like, my terminal is my only app. It's just full screened. I can split. I can grep search everything. I can get fugitive, get commit, push, without leaving my terminal here. So that's, like, without leaving NeoVim. It's really cool. Okay, so all we've done right now is just import an entity definition for a bat and import the quads and stuff. So we need to basically spawn a bat with bat-like AI, right? Because we have geckos with gecko AI. We need a bat. So let's see how we're instantiating our gecko entity. And I think it's in our map declarations. Okay, cool. So we have a table for every scene called entities, and we're inserting into that table an entity instantiation, and we define it manually with an animation from the gecko animations. We set its X and Y, we set its width and height, we set a health for it, we set a direction, we set a type. We're embarking on the stuff that I know I need to refactor, because type is gecko. Type is like the AI, right? So if it's a gecko type, it'll respond like a gecko, because in the entity class we have type gecko AI walking path stuff set up. I don't know of the different way I want to do that. But this is just how we're inserting a gecko entity into 112, and 112 is the dungeon, the first scene of our dungeon. So it looks like we just plop the entity into our global entities table on whatever scene we're trying to place them in, and then here we have a loop. So we're saying give us 4 geckos. Set a random path or a random speed for its walk speed, set a random AI path, and 1 or 2 is either horizontally lock or vertically lock. But our bat is going to be different. Our bat is not going to need the collision detection with the non-collidable map objects or the collidable map objects. It's not going to need that. And it's probably just going to go straight for you. It's not going to do what geckos do, which is it matches your Y position, then goes towards your X position, or it matches your X position and goes towards your Y position. Bats are just going to fly straight towards you, I think. And you know, maybe like their vector will be straight towards you, but maybe they'll like zigzag or something a bit. And then let's see if we can follow the dot entities, because I would think that in our map we're updating all our entities and we're also rendering all our entities. So if we can follow that path just to make sure that it's working as we expect, I think it would be, what do we do here? We reset the original position of our entities if we finish a scene transition. Yeah, so like we reset the position, but that's not what I'm looking for. Entities. I'm looking for probably the map. Yeah, let's see all the map ones. So yeah, we render them all. We do some collision for seeing whether or not we're hitting the player, because if we collide with the player, we damage flash. So that's one good thing about the bat inheriting the entity class. I guess it's not really... I don't know if that's the right term for it, but since it is an entity class, it has we're already checking entity to player collision. So if we collide with a bat, our player's going to get hurt. It's going to become hit. We're going to get knocked back. We're going to flash. We're going to deduct our health. So that's cool. We render, so we do pull in an entity count, so we know what to update. We cycle through our entity count, and yeah, we just update the entity after we process the AI for that entity. We should look at that code, the process AI, to make sure it's doing something. Because for right now, we can just give our bats gecko logic just to make it easy on us, and then we can tweak it with a new type of AI. So we have an entity. We have, I think, type gecko. Yeah. So and this is one thing I know we've been needing to change, but I didn't know what to change it to, because we've got, for every entity, we're asking, hey, are we a type gecko entity? If so, and we're corrupted, then go ahead and set your particle emitters. And if you're a gecko and our spells are casting, then go ahead and check for collision with those spellcast entities and see if the gecko needs to get hit and take damage. Where is the process AI? Right here. It's a state machine. Okay, so in our state machine, there's a process AI, and we need to find that. State machine. This is just the class. Where is process AI? Nope. Right here. Process. Okay. So it's a method in our play state. So if our entity is in walking state, it should be called like pursuit state or something. Then we take in these parameters, we take in delta time and a reference to our player. We ask what our type is so that we can define. We ask what our AI path is, so we know how to update our entity's X position. Yo, Real Rev, hey dude, thank you for the sub. I appreciate you, dude. How'd your stream go? I know I just caught you, and congrats on affiliate, dude. That's so cool. That's awesome. You were playing Balatro, right? Yeah, welcome in, dude. Thank you. I really appreciate that. That's epic, man. Okay. So we've got all the hard work done. We should be able to just instantiate our bat using Gecko AI logic just for now. Nice. Yeah, dude, I've been really wanting to play it, mainly because it's Love2d and Lua, right? So I think I'm right in that it's Love2d. I'm pretty sure it is. Hey, Magnetonics, what's up, dude? Hey, good to see ya. Hope you're doing well. Yo, Magnetonics, I know you're a Temtem guy, but are you into Pokemon mod hacks or anything like that? Because I've been playing Pokemon Ambrosia on an emulator on my phone. It's super, super good. Okay, I say we just give us a bat and give it Gecko logic, and we just see if it works. So I think we just go for it, and then we can give special bat logic. So we've got our bat imported. Let's go to our map declarations, and we'll try to insert a bat. So it's gonna look a lot like this, where instead of inserting gecko animation, we're going to insert the bat animation. We can give it whatever, X and Y, doesn't really matter. The width is actually a tile size times 2 for our bat. Health can be 3. Direction is for, I think we're rendering, I think in the state machine we're rendering, I'm going to leave that for right now. I'm going to leave that. Let's just say that the type is, for right now we'll say type is gecko. So as far as the game's concerned, we've got basically just a gecko entity, but with a bat animation and width. So we're inserting it just as we are a gecko. So we should be able to see it here in our map 112. Yeah, if you're into it, Magnetonics, it's Pokemon Ambrosia. There's an emulator on the phone that it works really nice with, and it's super difficult and challenging, but really cool Pokemon mod. I've been really enjoying it, and they've got all kinds of different generations of Pokemon. So it's like Pokemon Silver and Gold, but they have all generations. Not every Pokemon, obviously, but like the best ones from all the generations. It's really cool. Okay, I say we just see if there's a bat. I just say we just see if there's a bat. Okay, the bat does what? Entity 120, state machine has a nil value. Entity 120. I'm also thinking that since the bat doesn't have the same frames as a gecko. Oh, we're not changing our state. Okay, we have to also equip our bat with a state. So right here we're saying give us 4 entities, insert 4 entities worth into this table, and then we do it. Yeah, this needs to be outside of here, because then we say also, while you're in that loop, go ahead and initialize this key for a state machine and return the state for the entity, and then change the state. Okay, so once we have our entity, and we'll just do, for right now, we'll just do it manually here, just to test it. We'll have to come up with a better method of inserting this stuff rather than trying to calculate, because we have 4 entities, right? So I'm going to say entity is at index 5, because once we insert this bat, it'll be index 5 because we have 4 entities up here. So we're going to say entities at index 5, its state machine gets to be, we give it this entity walk state that we've already defined, and we put it in that index. And then we're going to change that entity's state to be idle, which the geckos start as idle. They wait like 3 to 5 seconds, and then they kick into the walk state. Yeah, the story's cool. It adds all new everything. It adds custom text and villains and story, and it doesn't add extra types, but it adds weather stuff, weather, what do you call it, mechanics, like in Ruby to Pokemon Gold. And then it also adds a bunch of stuff like a pocket PC and different way of HMs and speed shoes and like all kinds of stuff. They added so much stuff. It's really cool. And they've got like Pokemon in the overworld, that battle, and then they've got like all kinds of mechanics, all kinds of cool stuff. Yeah, I suggest checking it out if you're into it. because this game, you know, this game is Link's Awakening inspired, but also like Pokemon Gold and Silver are like the biggest games of my childhood, so they're super also up there in terms of inspiration for the game. Oh, do we have a bat? It didn't crash because we didn't do a walk speed. We didn't define a walk speed for our bat. So where do we define walk speed? Oh. Where do we define walk speed for a gecko? It's a random walk speed. Oh, okay. So let's give it... We're saying that we give a walk speed that we pull from here. It's this... 20... Let's do 25 times 60... 20... Oh, God. 20... Yeah, let's do... Yeah, we'll just put 15 as our walk speed. Because we didn't define it. We put it here as a local variable out of scope. So we'll say that walk speed's just 15. And we'll hope we see a bat. And you know what? Let's just spawn us in the right space from the get-go. We'll say that, yeah, I've already got it shortcutted here. Bat? I don't see a bat. I see 5 geckos as opposed to 4. So one of those is our gecko, I'm assuming. Or one of those is our bat. Oh, type gecko. Oh, we might be... Maybe... Let's look in our entity class, because we might be rendering based on... Well, we should be rendering based on the animation. Type gecko, we set and update... Oh, particle system. Oh, look at this. Yeah, we're rendering. Oh no, this is just the particle system. We're rendering ourself. That's all we're doing is rendering ourself. But what is... Yeah, I guess it depends on the state. So let's go check our entity walk state and see... Let's see how we're rendering. We have a current animation, we're snagging, and then we just draw the current frame of our animation. So yeah, I don't see why we're not rendering the bat. Did we... I'm kind of curious, like if we don't give a type, or say that this is different, does it disappear? Oh, it breaks. Oh, we can't snag the animation from the entity idle state because of the type. Really? So why is it... We pull the animations here, so why is the type... If I do gecko and not gecko C, do we have... Huh. So one of those is our bat, but why is it the wrong animation? Let's see. I don't see why it's the wrong animation, because in our entity depths we have bat C with... Oh, fly? Wait. Textures bat C. Okay. We must not... Oh, I think it's... We aren't changing animation to fly anywhere. So that might be the thing. Because like we have an animation table, but we need to change... We need to change the animation to fly. So like if we give a type bat C, we can say if we're by bat C, let's just change animation to fly, and then maybe that'll work. We need to harpoon our entity class, our entity state for here. Okay, so like where are we running change animation? Oh, see, look, When we init, we change an animation to walk plus direction. That's why we initialize with that direction. But what we need to do, if we're type bat, if our entity's dot type is a bat, then we need to... Why is it not like that? Then we need to self entity. You know, why is it not like that? Self entity type. Yeah, we should have. Oh, right here. In our entity walk state, we're creating animations using the gecko animations. So that's overriding the bat declarations. We should be using the entity's type dot animations here, because we start off as corrupted, right? Yeah, corrupted. I think we start off as corrupted when we declare it. Yeah, corrupted is true. Okay. So that's our bat. Okay. So yeah, we need to pull this animations from the type, because the type here is the key to the animation that we're trying to pull. So we should be able to say, instead of in our entity walk state init, oh, see, look, if we're type gecko, okay, we're doing it hard coded. I don't like that we're kind of doing that. And then we change animation to walk. I'm just going to try to say this and say if self dot entity type is equal to bat C, then we're going to overwrite the animation to be not walk but fly, because that's our bat animation. And then we won't be changed to our gecko animation because we're an entity type of bat and we're changing to fly. So it should start off as a gecko at this point, and then once it moves, it'll kick into a bat. Oh, come on. NM doesn't work. Entity idle state doesn't work. Okay. So that's our entity walk state. So let's make sure our entity idle state has the same thing too. So yeah, we don't have a change animation to idle. So we're gonna say if our entity type is equal to this corrupted bat, then we're gonna change our animation to fly. So it should fly and flap whether it's moving or not. I'm hoping. Yo, oh, he's nasty. Oh, he was nasty. He was big boy. Okay, anim and walk. Yo, why? So the idle worked. The change animation worked in idle, but it did not work in the walk state. If entity types bat C, well, you know what? We're already in. We should already have changed the animation, so we shouldn't need to change it again. So entity walk state 93, we can't pull it. A current animation. We don't have a current animation for our entity. We need to run our create. No, we don't. Oh, this is it. The direction. Okay, so like we have a direction, so it's saying, oh, well, our bat is direction left because that's what we spawned it with. Therefore, change to walk left, and we don't have that specific animation. So let's just not change animation based on direction because we don't have a direction as far as bats are concerned. So we'll do map declaration. We'll take out the direction for the bat entity and we'll see if we get a nasty bat. Yo, that's a big boy. He's huge. Oh, what happened, man? Local. Yeah, it still has a wrong animation. So I think we can fix this in a gross way, like most of my fixes. Like we can all we have to do is just make sure before we snag the current animation, we just say if our entity's type is equal to a bat, then we make sure that our animation is only fly. And this is why I never liked the idea of doing types and entities. Just because if we have 20 types, oh, there he goes. He just floated right off. But there we go, you know, like technically we have bats in our game now. He doesn't look good, I'll give you that. And he doesn't be very smart. Also, I'd give you that. Does he damage you? He does. Oh, he does, which is really cool, and we can push him. So he's got collision detection for our player, so that's cool. So yeah, we just need to give proper logic to him, right? So like, he's not gonna have gecko logic. He's gonna fly diagonally. He's just gonna, like, you know, laser in on us and fly wherever we're at. We do need a death animation for the demo too, because if you can hit 0 lives like this, it's a little clear that the developer didn't think of everything. Okay, get out of here. I want the coin. Okay. Well, that's sweet. Oh, no. Entity idle state. Why would we crash here? We don't have... Okay. I think we got ourselves into trouble by manually declaring some entities, I think. Well, it's only in a certain scene, so I don't see why. Let me see if it crashes if we have that. Oh no, that'll definitely crash. Okay. So yeah, we just need to do things better. We just need to make sure that when our entity update needs to have a flow that assigns the animation only based on the type, not based on the direction or anything like that. So let's see if we can figure anything like that out. Okay, let's just look at... Oh my god. Okay. See, and we do have a direction for... Oh, you know what? That actually might have happened. that actually might have happened. He did fly out. So like the thing is, the game only knows of the current scene we're looking at. And if we're scene transitioning, it would know about that scene also. But the map is one big sprite sheet that it's pulling from. So if it flies down, yeah, it wouldn't have been in the next map, but logically, and if you could move the game's window, you would see it in the other parts of the world. That is a funny thought. Okay, so we have a couple of methods for our entities, and then we're setting, you know, whether or not we're flashing based on if we've just taken damage. We update our state machine, which could be idle, could be walk. We update our animation so we get the next frame. And then here is the first time we're doing something based on a type. And it's just setting the particle systems. So that's probably not it. And here, fire spell to gecko collision. So we can't kill a bat with a fire spell just yet. And then regardless, oh, this is weird. Oh, DX. Oh, this is weird. Yeah, I mean, I guess this is fine because it's like once we trigger a hit, we assign a positive DX value. So we're saying if our DX is bigger than 0, go ahead and slow us down to 0 because we're updating our X and Y position based on our change in X and Y. So we slow ourselves to a stop and then add our change in velocity. And then if we're not moving, we're no longer hit. We've got... Yeah, this isn't done. Instead of hard coding in these boundaries, we probably want to do... We want to do what we're doing with our player, which is checking for the collidable map objects and just not allowing collision with those. Because we'll play nice and spawn things inside legit areas, and then it can't leave the legit areas. So we're probably going to change that. And then I don't see where we would have been crashing for that other thing. Because we don't have a part where we're saying, oh, you know what, it's in our state machine. Let's look at our entity walk state again. This is where it is, yeah. Okay. Yeah, we want to have this. Geckos have directions, and that changes which sprite to render based on their direction, and the direction changes which way they're moving. So we have a corresponding animation for which direction they're moving. But right here, oh, this is probably what's happening. Yeah, because look, the first thing we do in walk state is check if we're corrupted, and if we have... Oh, if we're dead, then we become cleansed. We didn't cleanse them, and we're not checking. Yeah, we shouldn't be removing health from our bat, so I don't think this animations would be screwing it up, but something like this direction would be screwing it up because our bat doesn't have direction. So, and also all of this stuff. So okay, let's just see if we can get it to crash again and see. Oh, wait a second. When we process the AI, if the entity type is a gecko, do all this junk. Okay. So why is it that our bat is just moving downwards? And it's because of the direction, isn't it? Because yeah, it's not processing AI. It's just once it becomes walking, do we initial? Oh, we do have a velocity right here. We get a velocity, but then do we use it anywhere? What the heck? We don't use this velocity anywhere, so... The bat is moving downwards, not because of any of the AI. Why is it moving downwards? Do we initialize with a dy? Positive dy? I guess let's see if we can just manually set our dy to 0 and see if it stops moving our bat downwards. Because if anything, it should be moving left because we gave it a left direction, but let's see. I guess in our init, I guess we can just do something real quick where we say, yeah, because we don't want to change the animation, because we want to say if our entity's type is a bat, then let's just say that we're going to set that entity's dy to 0, just to see if that stops it from walking down, flying down. Still flies down. So why is it flying down? So it would inherit this entity walk state, because that's it doesn't move. Oh, this possible directions. No, this is just if our health is gone. So where we are doing this. Okay, so let's try to just say if. See, and this is just getting so messy. I'm trying to figure out what could fix it. So it's like we only update our Y position with a walk speed. See, that's where it was screwing up. It's not the change in Y, because we were actually doing effectively a dy update using a walk speed. So it had a direction. And you know what? Let's look in our map declarations and see if we kept the direction. No. I don't get why it would inherit the walk speed if we didn't give it a direction. So maybe this isn't it, but let's just try. If we're type gecko, then do this direction check. We don't need a direction check on a bat. Okay. Now nobody's moving. Now we do, entity dot type. Okay, the geckos should move, the bat should not. Cool. Okay, now we can cleanse the geckos. Oh god, get away. Okay, so we don't have collision detection for the fire spell cast entities and the bat, but our player has it. Oh god. So, yeah, he knocks us back. That's pretty good. Oh gosh. Okay, yeah, the collision there is all jacked up. Okay. So we need to figure out what the proper way to tell our entity system what logic and what animations to do, because like the good thing about the entity class is that we get stuff like player to entity collision. That's a bonus. We get stuff like rendering the correct frame and updating the animation. That's a plus, because we already have a working bat flapping in there. But what isn't so nice is that there's no dead set way on defining the change animation functions without kind of going in here and saying manually, if we were a type gecko, then change the animation to walk, versus if it's a entity type bat, just stay at fly, because that's the only animation you got. So I might have to think about how to do this. Like we could, I don't like what we could do is literally just make sure we define animations called walk all the directions, walk left, up, down, and right, and they're the same frames as our fly animation. Then we won't have to worry about what type. We can just I don't, that's just so silly to do. But this, the other way to do it is just to do it by type, which I guess makes sense. It's just that, you know, we're going to have geckos, bats, scorpions, boars, crows, I think crabs. No, that's me. I've got crabs. There's another thing. But that's like 5 or 6 types that we would have to be cycling through and changing the animation based on the type. But this is okay. I mean, yeah, I guess this is okay. Because, yeah, we're doing just like this, where we're saying, you know, if we're type gecko, go ahead and change the animation based on its direction. If we're type bat, change our animation based on the only animation we got. And then if we're other stuff, do the other stuff. And then here, so look, we'll try to give a new AI to the bat, and we'll try to just say, you know, if our entity type is bat, then we're gonna do a specific type of AI processing, and it's gonna be, let's just move him up instead of down where we used to. So if our entity type is bat C, then let's just update our, see, this is wild. All we do in our, okay, so I do think we need a direction, because direction isn't just which direction to render the frame. Direction is we're assigning the direction, and then we assign the movement based on the direction, at least for the bat here, or for the gecko, because we're saying if our direction's down, our entity's Y is going to get updated over here. So this, yeah, this is getting messy. I would like it if we just did delta time here instead of walk speed. Or not delta time, delta Y. DX and DY instead of walk speed, I think, is the move. Because then we can at least segment out the change animation based on the direction for the gecko. But then outside of the type, we update our entity's Y by its change in Y and DX as well. So I think that's the move. Let's factor out this walk speed into a delta X and delta Y, so we don't end up using this. Where do we get this walk speed from? We have a dot walk speed, so that's probably where we probably define a walk speed in here in our entity defs. So let's go look. Entity defs. Do we have a walk speed for the entity? I don't see it. We must just assign it based on the entity class itself, because we don't define it. In the definitions, we have a dx dy. We should have a walk speed in here. Yeah. Okay. So we have, well, we pull it from a definition here. Entity walk. Okay. Where are we getting this walk speed? Where do we define this? Walk speed is random. Walk speed is random. Okay. Ah, I remember now. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so walk speed, we can leave walk speed, but walk speed will turn into delta time or something. Or not delta time, delta X and Y. So walk speed will be, for example, 30. Then we need to go into our entity walk state. And we can say, yeah, we don't want this walk speed here, but let's just inherit, for right now, Man, okay. It's more complicated than this, because if we say our dx gets our walk speed and our dy gets our walk speed, then we'll be moving in a diagonal direction, which isn't what we want. So we can initialize it. It's already initialized as 0, so we should be okay here. So what if we just said, yeah, I think what we can do is just say, yeah, see, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be modifying it by walk speed. I want to do that outside here. I don't know, I'm a little torn, because we just set it up in a different way. We're just... I guess it does make sense to have walk speed like this. So what if we... Yeah, I guess we just need to... I don't know. I don't know the way to do this. Because if we do dx and dy, we would be assigning a value to dx and dy based on the direction, and then outside of this type condition, we would then update our x and y based on dx and dy. Let's just give it a shot. I feel like I want to commit before I do it, in case I really screw it up. So I'm just going to say that this is added corrupted bat. And then testing dx, dy refactor for entity class. Okay, we got a little commit there in case we royally screw this up. But the idea is, since we have a plus walk speed here, then we would say a positive dy. So our entity's dy would be overwritten from 0 to the positive value of the walk speed that we define for our entity. Okay. So if we do that, that's our dy, this is our dy, but this needs to be a negative value, negative walk speed. And then left is going to be a negative dx. And right is going to be a positive dx. Okay, and then we have the appropriate dx. So outside of this condition, we're going to do our players, or our entity's positional updates here. And we're going to say, we're going to get our old x shifted by our dx, which could be positive, could be negative. And we want to scale that by delta time for the frame independence. And then our y, we can say y, and y position gets current y plus delta y. Cool. So now our x and y are modified by dx and dy, which we're assigning based on the direction for a gecko. But if our bat is a C, let's just say that our dy gets to be a negative, because we're trying to move it up. So we're trying to say our entities dy negative value is what our bat's dy is going to be. So it should never get changed, you know, because it's not a type gecko, so it shouldn't change based on the direction, because we don't even have a direction. But what it should do is assign a negative dy value, which should be upwards, and then update its y position based on a negative dy value, which should move it upwards. So let's see if we're flying up once we're in walk state. Let's go, let's go. Go, change. Oh my god. Okay. Didn't work. Oh, dy gets negative walk speed, not dy. Negative walk speed. Okay, let's go. Move up. The gecko did it. The gecko is doing it. Why was that one doing it? Oh, they're fast. Yeah, they've got the new walk speed. Oh, it's really jacked up. All we're doing is... Oh, I think we're not flushing... For the geckos, at least, we need to flush the dx. We need to flush the opposite value if we assign one of them, because like they're getting confused a bit. So if we assign a dy, we need to make sure our dx gets reset to 0 and vice versa. That should fix the weird zigzagginess that we're getting from them. There we go. That looks better. Now, they are much faster. I feel like they're getting the bat walk speed that I put. Or we... So we're still not getting... If our type is bat C, which we are, then we're saying our... Oh, this should be self.entity.dy. Okay, we should walk up. Our bat should fly up. Let's go. Son of a... Oh, there we go! That's it. Okay, so if we give... Let's say we want to move it left. We give it a left dx. Now, this is how we can start to modify... There we go. Yes. Start to modify the AI. God, we need to take out the geckos. I'll tell you that much. We need to get rid of those guys. But this is the beginnings of being able to make this new entity with new AI. Hey, Van Goit. Hey, welcome in. Yeah, we're just doing some game dev here. I think I'm going to get rid of the geckos for now, and then our bat is at least in a great spot for us to work on the AI for it maybe tomorrow. So let's go find our gecko instantiations and turn them off. Now we are doing some nasty stuff here. We need to come up with a better way to insert more than one type of entity into the same scene. Because right here, it's nice if we want to enter 4 geckos, because we just say give us a variable of 4, loop through 4 different ones, and insert 4 geckos in there. The tricky thing is we need to initialize these state machines for every entity, and we need to assign them to... You know what? This will be easy. All we have to do is do a secondary loop for the state machine instantiations after we've inserted all the entities. So that should be easy. And then we can get away from having to do this index 5 state machine or entities index 5 state machine insertions. So let's get rid of the geckos. Let's actually just test what we just said, which was let's just do all of this stuff after we've initialized both entities, both types of entities. And we'll say, we'll get rid of that. And what we'll do is we inserted our geckos, then we inserted a bat, then we need to snag the entity count from the current map. So we'll snag that, and we do that by going into the scene entities global table, but we need to do the length operator, I think it's called. I don't know. So like we snag the number of entity instantiations that are in this table, and then we do a for loop, and we say for I gets 1 for our entity count, do, and we need to initialize these play states, these entity states, and we're going to say, yep, go to the ith position state machine, go ahead and give it a state given the given entity, and then change to idle. Make sure we're not hit. Okay, so this should work. We should be the same old thing, bats and geckos. Cool. Then the bat should go left. And it does. And then we can... So we've got that loop. That's a lot better. So what we should do is take out, for right now, take out the geckos so that we can just focus on the bat. So we'll just take out the geckos here, so we just have the bat. Okay, cool. Nice. Cool, we've got a bat. It's only got a negative DX right now, but we've got an entity instantiation, we've got the beginnings of the animation, we've got a type for it so that we can apply specific bat AI to it instead of gecko AI. And then, yeah, once we get the AI happy, you know, I think I don't want the bat to just fly directly at the player. I think what I want is the bat to fly up to the player and have it sit. I think what I want it to do is like fly just up to the player where he is like just in range of the spell casting, right? So if he flies up and he stops like right here, you know, just out of range, and then he like spits on us or something, and he has like little projectiles that he'll spit at us, so he'll go until he's like this close to us and then stop and then spit at us, and then that's kind of like you know, just as a way so that it doesn't just, because the geckos are just walking towards us, right? It's a little boring if all of our enemies are just walking towards us nonstop. So I think I want the bat to fly up. Once it gets a certain distance from us, stop, and then start attacking at a distance. And if it's within this distance of our spellcast, we can still hit it with our fire spell. So it's still, it's not like a little, you know, it's not like a jerk like really staying outside of our range, because then it'd be impossible to kill with our spell. But it's going to go right inside our range and start hitting us. So if it can hit us, then we can hit it. And I think that's a fair first encounter with an entity in this game, especially because there's going to be pits on a lot of the oh shoot, man. There's going to be pits on a lot of the dungeon levels. So we can fall into those. And maybe when the bat spits at us, it does some knockback, so it can knock us into the pit and make us fall and take more damage. Why is it doing this? Our entity idle state cannot concatenate a field direction. So our idle state doesn't have a direction. Do we need a direction for an idle state if we're not updating? So the thing is, we can fix that by giving our bat a direction. Maybe we can say, like, go try to be a lawyer. If we give it a direction, does it stop that crash? Because I think, well, okay, it doesn't seem to crash if it gets a direction. What I don't get is why would it even crash here? Because why would it be updating that entity if that's not even the scene we're in? Because this scene, we're at map 7.3, and the bat is in map 112. So why would 7.3 mess up with 112? Okay, that is something for us to figure out. I don't know why it would crash there. Because this is only in the map 112 entities, and we should only be updating or doing anything with the current entities of our current scene, which wouldn't be 112 if we're walking over to the other scene over here. So why would it crash here? I'm going to have to dig into that one, but for right now, we can say, we can leave this direction on, and we can say, why does this crash on scene transition? Because I don't get that. So we'll have to hunt that down at some point, but we can fix it right now by giving it a direction, even though the direction doesn't do anything other than become a valid, not nil value that ceases us to crash. I don't know. But let's just commit here. Actually, let's just look at a get diff here real quick just to see what we've done. We changed our entity instantiations for our state machines to loop through every entity. And we took out our bat spawns on map 112. And we added... we took out our gecko spawns on map 112 and we added a bat. And we also gave specific bat logic to update based on a negative walk speed for now. We'll give it a better AI, an actual AI. AI is probably the wrong word for it, but just, process AI for it to follow us. No, I guess it would be kind of AI. It's like it's responding to what we're doing, so it has to track us and then attack us. And then we modified our walk speed to inherit, or our DX takes in our walk speed, and then we just update our positions based on our DX DY. So I think that's a good move. So, oh lordy. Let's commit, and we'll say that we added entity positional updates based on DX and DY, and then we added bat entity to dungeon with simple movement. Cool. And then tomorrow will be, did we push or did we just commit? I don't remember. Okay, we pushed now. Okay, so tomorrow I might track down that crash for the direction. I think the bat's too big. The bat is just like really disgusting. I know the art isn't great, but I think it's just too big. So I think we could shrink it down a bit, both on the width and the height. And I think I'd be more happy with it. So tomorrow will probably be, if I've got the minerals tomorrow, we'll try to track down the direction bug, and we'll do the AI for just following the player. You know, it'll just track our X and Y and fly to where we're at, and then we'll worry about stopping it prematurely, and then we'll worry about it attacking and doing damage to us, and then we'll add spellcast collision to the bat, and then we can work on some level design after we polish up the sprite. But yeah, it's coming together. I'm glad we've got the bat in there. Thanks to all of our credited supporters, anyone who's been watching the channel on Twitch or YouTube. I appreciate all of you. We'll find someone to raid out to here and call it a night. Let's raid out to Small Block Boy. So, thanks for watching, y'all. Hope you have a good night. Small Block Boy. Yeah, Soup, you're on there for sure. Yo, thanks for the subs, everyone. I really appreciate it today. That was a huge day for subs, so thank you, thank you. We're raiding out. Yeah, have a good night, everyone. Yeah, peace out. Have a good night. Thanks for watching. Catch you later.